So one player we haven't mentioned. I know Austin Trussey's being thrown out there. He's a left-sided center back, and I think he should be in the conversation if we're going to talk about everybody. Yep. However, Noahkai Banks, I think, is the one that probably sparks the most interest and intrigue. 19 years old, playing for Augsburg. Augsburg now 9th in the table in the Bundesliga, won 5 out of their last 6. He had an assist this past weekend, dribbling up into the attacking half, got it to almost to the end line and touched it across. And they had a little cheeky back heel, and they ended up beating FC Cologne 2-0. Now he's got no caps for the US men's national team, and he just said this recently about his national team options because he can play for Germany as well. I have a bit of contact with both national teams, and I'm currently deciding. I don't want to base my decision on the World Cup. I'm 19 years old, and I don't want to make a hasty decision. I feel drawn to both nations. I grew up with my stepdad in Germany, but my real dad lives in America. I'm torn. I have to decide with my family what the best decision is. Well, let's leave that quote out of it for right now, Chuck. I would have called him into the March friendlies no matter what, right? You want to see where he's at, see what his confidence is like, see how he fits into the group. 26-man roster, I'd take a flyer on him and bring him in. That's kind of where I am at the moment, especially given where we are depth-wise.
I think it's a no-brainer. I don't even.
Yeah, it feels like a no-brainer. Okay, good. Mm-hmm. We're walking on the same path here. I think what's interesting for what's coming up next, the teams that they've kind of beaten in this run of winning 5 out of 6 are teams. Augsburg are good, but they're kind of playing comparable teams. These next 3 weeks, they have 3 teams above them in the table. They play away to RB Leipzig, away to Borussia Dortmund, and then home to Stuttgart. Stuttgart's currently in 4th. These are going to be 3 really good games. And I know that probably decisions need to be made prior to that for him to come into this window. So I think he's going to come in anyway, and I think you should see him. But those are 3 games. If you're going to watch any Noahkai Banks games, these next 3 weeks are going to be very good ones to get a real good feel for what he's about. His potential, I think, is going to be off the charts. So I hope that we can secure him. But when you see this quote now, Chuck, let's bring the quote back into it. Do you feel like that puts pressure on Mauricio Pochettino to definitely call him in?
Well, again, you have to call in the best players available. And he's already called them into a camp. So he has an idea of already how he fits in, how he moves, how he thinks, how he communicates, how he plays, how he trains. Mm-hmm. But from that point on, he's only gotten better with the reps, playing every week in the Bundesliga and getting tested. We're at the point where you need to see these players in either A, both games, or B, one of the games against Belgium and Portugal. Because ultimately, he could end up being the best option in that right center back role instead of Alex Freeman, who is more comfortable in the right wing back role and can play there if need be. But ultimately, you want a center back playing that role who's a little bit, I think, better when you're talking about in the air or tackling. And when we had Bob on here, Cello, he was talking about in watching Banks play, he feels like he dives in a little too often, in the decision making, and
which
that's
is normal for a young defender, right?
I'm going to help you out. As a 19-year-old, I slid at anything that moved. Let's be honest, because you're not secure. You're still trying to figure yourself out. You're not mature enough yet to be that leader. So the first thing you want to do is dive in at a young age. As he gets older, he will mature. And he will figure out when to press, when to drop, when to go. But at 19, I don't expect anything else than a kid being aggressive. And if he's not, I don't want him.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. No, that's a good shout.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. I think what's interesting, there's little details here, and it's not like for like. So I know I'm getting some eye rolls here, but we talked about it in our meeting yesterday that this would be somewhat, if you brought him kind of Julian Green-esque. You got someone who's got potential. Yeah. But hasn't proven it yet. And I would say that the ceiling for Noahkai Banks is higher than Julian Green. But prior, leading into that World Cup.
Whoa. This is a big difference between
that's why this game was like for like.
No. It's not even, because Julian Green wasn't playing top first-team football.
That's fair.
He was a up-and-coming potential rising star. You're talking about a player who's actually playing in the Bundesliga. That means you're looking at his performances with the likes of
forget I said Julian Green then. I don't want to be
because that couldn't have been
Jonathan Brooks, maybe.
It was so far away.
Jonathan Brooks.
John Brooks. Yeah. Okay. But we're talking about a player who's playing in the Bundesliga, and you're trying to figure out, could he potentially be a starter in the World Cup? That's what we're talking about. Not in the mix. where I think we're trying to figure out is depth piece. Is this a guy who can come into your U.S. men's national team and start if he's playing every week in the Bundesliga and playing well as a young German American defender, where Germany now has their head turned? Because you look at the German defenders, the center backs, I'm not convinced with them either. There's no stellar center back pairing that you're saying, hey, Germany, there's no way he's going to break in. So if all of a sudden Nagelsmann is saying, hey, there's a lot of potential in this kid. I might as well bring him in and see how he handles it. He looks good at Augsburg. Then you got to bring him in, and you got to give him a chance to play with this group.
Yeah, when I'm looking at the German center backs, they got Rudiger. He's 33.
Yeah.
Schlotterbeck's 26. Jonathan Tah is 30. So in terms of potential,
I'm not convinced on Jonathan Tah, to be honest.
Yeah, I'm just saying that their guys are starting to getting closer to aging out after this World Cup. So maybe Noahkai Banks he can see more of a future for him with the German national team. We already lost Nathaniel Brown, who's already got 2 caps with the German national team, but he was dual eligible too. Go ahead, Cello. Sorry.
No, here's my thing. I think when you look at this kid Banks, the comment, I'm not going to let the World Cup make my decision. Well, I don't buy that, because if the U.S. says you're coming in and you're going to make this World Cup team, will he play for us? If Germany says commits to him, you're gonna make this
2030.
Exactly. Yeah. So I don't buy that. I think he's buying time to see where he's more comfortable, what style fits him better at 19 years old. But listen, I think when you look at a young kid like this, you see potential. Okay. Playing in a World Cup is completely different than playing in a league game. So can this kid come in, and can he fit into Pochettino's system? Can he fit in with the players? I have never seen a player come in and really be an ass and not really get along. But can he play in Pochettino's system? That's going to be the key for this kid if he gets called in when he plays. Because listen, if you bring him in, you will play him. Because if not, how do you make a decision? But he is a very good option. Even if you played him on the left side and you took Tim Ream out, he's still an option to play either side. Mm-hmm. Miles Robinson can play either side. McKenzie could play either side. So I think now you're looking at giving yourself, as a coach, you're giving yourself an option of maybe a little quicker, younger, faster player that could play next to Richards, and then if you do end up with a Miles Robinson, you got a pretty solid back line, man. So I think this is a no-brainer for Pochettino. It's just now, can the kid handle, because we all know, listen, the pressure of playing in a league game and playing in a World Cup game, because you're not just playing a game, a friendly. You're playing for your life right now. You're playing, listen, to play in the World Cup, no matter what we say, Julian Green is a World Cup player. No matter what we say, we can beat him up all day. Shouldn't have been there. He is a U.S. national team
and scored
player and scored. So this kid, I think, if he's smart, he'll go into both camps and he'll make a decision quick. Because this is representing a country in your own country in the World Cup, nothing like it. You can play in a World Cup, but representing your country in front of your fans, there's no better feeling. So he's got to make a decision quick.
Oh, look at you. You got to the end of the video. Thanks for watching. We appreciate it. So if you want more average to good content, then you know where to go find it. Go peruse our channel, then hit like, then hit subscribe, and of course, turn on your notifications so that you never miss a show. We'll see you next time.